Welcome to Totally Weird and Twisted. Your hosts, Katie and Mandy, will be joining you in a moment.
I literally have like sweat beads dripping down the back of my head right now.
I would open the window, but then
I'm about to.
we might get some outside.
BRB friends.
Okay, open it. Oh, there's a fan. Oh no, that'll make too much noise. It's kind of cool.
What is that?
What is it? A bug?
No, she carried like some like giant mushroom or some shit up onto the roof.
Khaleesi?
Yeah.
I still remember the day she scared the shit out of us at that window.
I bet they do too.
God, that was so funny.
That was hilarious.
That was
and
fun.
Terrifying because Mandy left me here.
Twas.
And she was in the hallway.
Oh, that's right. So if you guys, I couldn't even tell you what episode it was, but we were talking about some scary shit. And I think
we're
some scary shit
in the
was
corner
like,
of the room.
I think some scary shit was already like kind of happening. We're like, what is that?
Yeah, because Mandy's house is haunted already.
Then
so.
My cat comes to the door or the window behind us and did something on the screen or some noise.
There's no screen. So
and
she's like
so
on the window.
So
the way we're second floor.
The way we're sitting right now, Katie's against the wall
in the corner.
So the only way for her to get out is for me to get out. And I just got up and I fucking ran
out of the room.
And she was like, Mandy, you bitch. It was so funny.
Meanwhile, I'm still sitting there. And not only that, we're in like these wingback chairs. Like we're taking it back like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We're in these wingback chairs.
We
so
haven't come much further, but you know.
Mandy like fucking stood up and like fucking crip walked over the fucking chair and hauled it out of the room. And I'm like, I couldn't get out of this bitch if I wanted to. And there's a monster on the second floor behind me. And I'm like, what do I do? And then finally, I'm like, I mean, I have to know what it is. It's her cat, Khaleesi, who, you know, for shits and giggles, naps on the chimney. So, of a 4-level house. Okay. So, that was fun.
I forgot the part that you had to like climb up on the chairs and get out
to get out from behind this table.
So it wasn't just like me moving that got her out of there. She had to like stand on her chair, stand on mine. They were big, huge, like
wingback chairs,
velvet wingback chairs or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was. She was so pissed in the moment. It was great.
I was like, "You fucking bitch!"
I was out, man.
She's
I was
in
like,
the hallway laughing at me, like, "Oh my god!" And then she's like, I mean, it was fucking funny, but like, she's dying once we figure out it's Khaleesi on the roof, and I'm like,
survival of the fittest.
You don't have to be fast, just faster than the other person, right? Stupid bitch.
Oh god, that was so funny. I forgot all about that until you mentioned.
And I never have
until you mentioned Khaleesi on the roof. God,
yeah, there's funny. Like this giant like mushroom thing, like on this roof right here, like this section of the roof right here. I'm like, Khaleesi brought it up here.
That's weird. Usually she brings dead animals.
I know.
Hello and welcome to Totally Weird and Twisted. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're back, twats.
It makes me feel more confident that I can learn to resist this. You won't even miss it. You're sick and you're twisted. You're sick and you're twisted.
So I would love for you to tell me what you were going to tell me, because I have something for you using your favorite new adjective.
What is that?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So this was the craziest thing. I was listening to my local news source, Elliot in the morning. And so there was a girl. Okay. She went on a date with a guy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Follow?
Mm.
And
it's a tough one, but I'm gonna crack this nut, okay?
They had sex in the backseat of his car.
Okay.
Or in his car. I don't know where. So,
okay.
I don't know where they did it. You can do it in the front. You just got to recline it. You can do it in the back. Who knows?
Sure.
They did it inside the vehicle. So she ends up getting HPV. And sues Geico.
You can do that?
I didn't know either. So she sues Geico. Well, first she calls or like her lawyer submits a settlement claim to Geico. And they're like, no.
I would have been like, you're out of your fucking mind.
Because you got
you're a whore.
STD having sex in some guy's car. Like they just like kind of laughed it off and were like, no.
I would have too.
So.
And I would have posted it on all of Geico's social media.
So her lawyer, let me just wet my whistle real quick.
That's a damn good drink. Vodka and White Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Give a little extra boost.
Yeah. Mine has a lime wedge in it. So it's a little tart, but it's good. Anyway, so they push this, right? And they're like, okay, like go for it. And something in Geico's wording of their policy is anything that happens to you within the vehicle.
There's a loophole.
So the arbitrator awarded her $5.2 million.
Shut the fuck up.
Tell me that is not crazy.
Mandy, do you have Geico?
Or no, I don't have Geico.
We can pretend.
Yeah, I was like, do I? No, I have Progressive.
Well,
you bet they changed.
Can we see if Progressive has a loophole? Because I do too.
You bet they have all changed their wording at this point. This
insane.
Which does not include sex in the car that provides STDs. What else would it not include?
I bet you they covered
food poisoning because you went to McDonald's.
They're gonna be like, if you got bit by a snake that was in your trunk, fuck you.
Yeah.
If there's something coiled in your engine compartment, not it.
Like $5.2 million this girl.
Wow.
Elliot was like, how can we do this? And then I'll just tell her like, hey, we're gonna split the money.
Right.
And then they had like all these lawyers calling in and stuff, and they were like, they like read the policy and they said, yeah, I mean, it's pretty unique that she got that much money. The arbitrator, he said, must have had like some bad run-in with a dude and gotten some from it or something. It was like, take him for all he's worth, but it wasn't even him. He paid zero. It was Geico that had to pay.
Oh my god!
So I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Could you imagine if like that's your daughter?
How
and you're like,
but if my daughter got $5.2 million for it, I'd be like,
for getting HPV in the back of some dude's ride.
I mean, HPV is apparently like
it's super common,
fucking common.
So. Is there anything else you'd like to share before I get into my little story?
No, I just wanted to share the Geico thing.
I have to read this because I purposely didn't read it because I want to be as shocked as you.
Ooh.
I found, okay, so if any of you know our shit, I like to talk about objectum sexuals.
Ugh. Tell me that is not the most disgusting word you guys have ever heard. It's
people that fall in love with objects instead of people. So the adjective is objectum.
Okay, she's gonna keep saying it.
Oh, I totally am. Mm-hmm. So our last objectum sexual is our friend from Leeds who
Liberty.
Yes, Amanda Liberty.
Oh yeah, duh. We share the same name.
That's
How
right.
I forget that part?
Well, I have not seen an update on Miss Liberty in quite some time, but I did find a friend from Germany.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be an update on Amanda. We have to look.
I wish. This is objectum sexual woman says she wants to marry an airplane, but it's illegal. Gasp.
How is that illegal? But you marry a fucking chandelier.
Well, that was illegal too. Remember, she couldn't officially marry a chandelier.
Oh.
The people in the UK were like, you're a
But then that one girl married that doll. Was that not official?
It was not official. Oh. None of these fucking people are none of this is official. They just have these little ceremonies where they find weirdos that are like, I'll do it. So silly. I'm sure I'm not saying this right. But in Germany, it's pretty much phonetic, so maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
This says in Dortmund, I don't know, I'm sorry, Germany, a woman claiming to be sexually attracted to objects is drawing major attention on the internet. Dun, dun, dun. Sarah Rodo, 23, claims to be in love with a Boeing 737. So we're not talking about like a prop plane.
Like, What
or
the
like
fuck
a
you gonna
fighter
do with
jet.
it?
We are talking about a Boeing 737, a passenger airliner, like the one we're taking to Florida.
Like, you just gonna like make it your house or something, and then just love
Fuck it. Like,
Ew,
what do you do?
So gross.
Why are you whispering about it? Are we prude?
I'm
today?
like, ugh, no, I was trying to hold back my vomit.
So this is according to an article titled "Are You Joking?"
Oh, that's funny.
I'm turned on by planes, and one day I want to marry my toy Boeing. A little on the nose.
Oh boy. Oh,
My plane. Guess what she named her toy Boeing?
oh wait, let me guess.
It's two on the nose.
Bow.
Think a little bit more practical.
Peen.
Close.
Mm.
Dickie.
Dickie. Oh, that is fucking
My
good.
plane.
They have wings. What the fuck?
So she should name it like Maxie.
No, like you can't use it as that. As
Well,
a
the
Dickie.
long nose and a 747.
It better be a long fucking nose. That's just ridiculous. It's probably
My plane is called Dickie, Roto tells the Sun. I love everything about him, but particularly his face.
his face, his windshield.
Wings and engine, they're so sexy to me. Some people don't. Oh, there's a picture.
I fucking hate this
Some-
subject.
I know, that's why I chose it.
Luckily, I'm on steroids this time.
So she's not going to get raging pissed.
I
with
got roid
roid
rage last time. Yeah.
Some people don't understand my love, but my friends took my coming out very well and encouraged me, Rhoda reportedly says. Now,
We're gonna be like bashed for like not accepting this, but
the Sun published this for the entire world to see, and ABC7, our local ABC affiliate, picked it up in Washington, D.C.
but were they like
So-
laughing about it?
Obviously.
Okay.
You
Can give me
think
a seltzer, please?
you think ABC7 WJLA is going to pick it up outside? It's a Washington D.C. news affiliate for ABC. You think that they're sharing it because it's world news and they're going to be like,
Like, did they report it?
dun
Like,
dun dun, breaking news? Like,
did
they're
they
gonna be-
report it all seriously? Like a woman who fell in love with their plane?
Fuck no.
Or were they like, so
They're like,
this lady?
let's take a break from the political chaos and make everyone laugh. WJLA never shares shit like this. So when I found
That
this,
is pretty unique.
when I found this on Facebook the other day, I literally had to like quadruple check, and I'm like, seriously, a DC station posted this? I thought it was the greatest. I thought it
Especially
was like,
because she's not in the area. She's from Germany.
I thought it was Christmas. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to share this with Mandy. So
This
here's
is-
what she looks like.
Okay.
I'm turned on by planes, and one
Oh,
day,
let me see the nose of the plane.
here it is.
Oh, that's probably a good 4 or 5 inches.
It's thick.
It's not
It's
a little toy
thick,
plane.
yeah.
That's like a. Oh,
So,
just thinking what she does. with
Here's
this
what
stuff.
she looks like.
And there's the plane.
And there's her
It's a little
737.
bright, but we'll post that picture. Save it to your phone.
Yeah, I will. Roto identifies as objectum sexual, according to the article, which means she is sexually attracted to inanimate objects. That's Mandy's favorite term. So every time I find anything about anyone that wants to fuck objects and marry them,
It really grinds my gears.
I bring them up just for Mandy. I go out of my way to look for things like this. The woman claims to be in love with the plane and says she flies on it.
Whoa.
Flies on it.
Look how big that shit is. Is that the same one? There's no way.
No, but I bet you that's the one she wants to marry.
Oh my God.
woman-
Wow, that was good. There's like this giant one that she's like hugging, and I'm
I'll
like,
sh-
wait.
I'll show you. This is from her Instagram if you want to follow her.
Oh my goodness.
The woman claims to be in love with the plane and says she flies on it as often as possible.
Oh, that's so gross.
She reportedly has hundreds of toy models of the plane at her home and sleeps with one model that's almost as big as she is. Now,
That's that one.
dun dun dun. There it is.
Oh.
Does that get your plane motor running? And she captioned this Instagram post. Fucking weirdo. My life, my love, heart emoji. I love an airplane, plane emoji. No, more precisely, the Boeing 737, red heart emoji.
But it's not an airplane, it's a toy.
I stand by myself. Love knows no boundaries. Just be yourself. Roto also reportedly chatted with Lad Bible. Bad idea.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. I fucking love Lad Bible.
I can't wait to hear this.
Quote, I've been attracted to objects since I was a teenager. I first noticed it when I was 14 years old, Roto told Lad Bible. I noticed that I wasn't attracted to people when I didn't want to cuddle or become intimate with them, like my objects, where I crave cuddles.
Now I hate the word objects.
Where I crave cuddles and being intimate. Roto reportedly says it's the best sex I've ever had.
This fucking makes me mad.
There she is.
There's also you're the only one showing affection. You're not receiving affection. That is the point of a relationship.
I'm just saying. She refers to Dickie, the plane, as her boyfriend, but as the Sun reports, she cannot marry it because it's not legal in her home country of Germany. Hail Deutschland. Past relationships with men had Roto flying high. With the Sun's article says, Roto elaborates on that in her interview with Lad Bible. I cannot believe she was like, sure, I'll talk to them. Have you ever read any of their shit? Yeah. I've also had two relationships with men because I just wasn't sure what my real sexuality was. You should have tried women before you tried objects. Roto reportedly said, but I soon realized that I can't feel these romantic things for people. Now I know that my sexuality is objectophilia. And I stand by it. Roto also reportedly claims to have been previously in love with a train. Come on,
like a toy train?
And right at it. I'm just kidding. Before the plane, I was on the Ice 3, which is an express train. She tells Lad Bible.
Ice 3?
Yeah.
On a real train?
Yeah. I'm assuming it's one of those like high-speed trains that goes from country to country.
And she was in love with it?
Yeah. The woman also reportedly went as far as to get a tattoo of the plane on her arm. Tattoo. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Roto is not the first woman to speak with news outlets about being in love with a plane. There's more. I have to. Excuse me, Lad Bible. Where are we?
You have to give me at least a month and a half before you pull out any more objectum sexual.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
This is my least favorite.
Now subject. I have to start digging. A woman in Hungary reportedly shared her relation. Shut up! You just threw me so far off.
Sorry.
Reportedly shared her relationship with a toy plane back in March. She did. If it's not in Hungarian, I'm gonna find it. So that's my story.
So here's one thing about hers. So the last
listen up.
The last one that Katie talked about was a girl,
Amanda Leeds,
Liberty, who was she was like dating the Statue of Liberty for a few years, and then she ended up marrying a chandelier.
She broke up with the Statue of Liberty because they couldn't make long distance work.
Yeah, that's right.
But she married her and took her surname.
She did. That's why her last name's Liberty.
Right. She's from Leeds, England, which is why I keep calling her Amanda Leeds.
So then she broke up with Lady Liberty, and she married a chandelier. Now that I feel like would be harder sexually
to fornicate with
than the plane. So, I mean, I still think the whole Amanda Liberty thing is fucking nuts.
She
sleeps with one in her bed, a chandelier.
Just for you
she
guys.
She put a ring on the fucking chandelier.
Just for you guys and for Mandy.
Oh, for me.
I'm going to find the Amanda Liberty story and share it with you next time. But Mandy will dose you with the haunted stuff. I will keep up with the off the wall shit. I promise.
As long as it doesn't have the word objectum in it, I'm good.
I promise next time you see me, I will talk all about Amanda Liberty.
Oh, that one really
Mandy was
grinds
on
my gears.
Mandy was on steroids.
I
And
was.
she legitimately got fucking roid rage. As I told this story, she got so fucking mad, like legitimately mad.
I was an asshole.
I laughed so hard. It made it that much better for me, even though
we will never forget that episode.
even though Mandy was fucking livid with me. I
But yeah,
fucking loved it. It made the episode that much better.
I just
great.
something about the word just like triggered me. And
Clearly it
just
still does.
Yeah, I mean, I still hate it.
I
but
said objectum sexual, and I fully let into this with like, this is Mandy's favorite word. And I
knew exactly what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Objectum.
Yeah. Objectum sexual.
Sounds like a weird part of a man's like nether region or something. The
Nether
objectum.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
you're welcome. So
my stomach is like turning.
don't forget next time, Amanda Liberty. I got you, boo.
I'm not gonna remind her, so we'll see if she remembers.
Oh.
Because
I'm gonna set a reminder right now.
It's gonna
And
be
it's
a
gonna
little
go off
while.
every 2 days.
It's gonna be a little while because we're going on vacation together.
I'll
We will
remember.
not be recording.
We'll be sitting on the beach, and I'll be like, hey,
Oh, don't
Mandy,
even do it.
objectum sexual. And then I'll
She'll
take
see a
picture.
plane and be like, I love it.
I'm gonna fuck it.
Like, Mandy, quick, can you take a picture of us? There's a plane flying over.
I'm gonna be like, Red Eagle on the beach. Be like, come at me.
Come at me, bruh. You'd be like, where can I buy the
Come at me,
bottle of you?
Boeing.
It's so crazy. People are, unique. Everyone's.
And I love finding them
yeah.
and talking about them on a public forum
So
and making Mandy super uncomfortable.
it is very uncomfortable for me. But we'll be back.
You guys are with me, right?
We'll be back in just a tick.
We're gonna go get more vodka.
And get more vodka and tell you some cool shit.
BRB. Tits out, face up, no necks.
And pose. Okay.
We've
I'm
got
ready.
that shit on lock. All right. Dazzle me.
All right. 1929.
I was but a wee lad.
Valentine's Day.
Ooh. Are we talking a massacre?
We are talking about a massacre. Only for a second, though.
Son
This-
of a bitch.
Yeah. This is just the first part.
Okay.
1929, Valentine's Day, Chicago. Bugs. What the fuck is his name? Bugs
Bugsy?
Moran. No, Bugs Moran.
That bastard.
He was the rival of Al Capone. Bunch of his men, 7 to be exact. Bugs Moran, his headquarters was located in a kind of like a.
Was it like a speakeasy?
No,
Damn it.
I know that's what you picture, but no, it was like
I was painting like
almost
a whole
like
thing.
those warehouses with like the garage doors.
Mhm.
It was something like that.
That's not as cool.
That's where his warehouse was. So 7 of his men were in there working, right? 4 policemen, 2 in police, I almost like costumes, police uniforms,
Garb.
and 2 in like detective shit, like the trench coats and stuff, right?
Okay, yeah.
They come in and they mow them all down with shotgun, or not with shotgun, with like a fucking machine gun.
With like Tommy guns.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So this is actually a cold case
Like today.
because they never proved anything, but it's almost 100% likely that it was Al Capone's guys that did it, because Bugs Moran was like his biggest competition in Chicago, and he took out, these 4 guys took out most of the big hitters in Bugs Moran's gang. I guess it's like a mob gang.
Mob, yeah.
Mob, whatever they call them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Outfit. Anyway.
Out.
Anyway, so that happens. Okay. So Al Capone wasn't even in Chicago during the massacre.
Okay.
And it's just assumed that he, told his men to do this. And so it was never back then, apparently, from looking into this, like if you were a mobster, you were safe from everything.
Mhm.
They try and get you on like other shit, but
like racketeering.
those people were afraid of you.
Yeah.
Like all the police and
because they were all
the
intertwined.
judges, and they'd be like, I'll kill your whole family,
Well, not only that, they were all intertwined.
Yeah.
They were all dirty.
So that was 1929. 1930, Al Capone is making a pit stop in Philadelphia when he is heading back home to Chicago from New Jersey. So he was walking into a place and he had an unlicensed, unregistered gun on him. So most people, they wouldn't even probably check you for that at this time.
Right.
But they couldn't put him away for the murders because there was no proof. I guess they hid it well, or the other police were like way too afraid to even, accuse him.
Yeah.
So they put him in jail for having an unlicensed gun. And this jail cell, this was an Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia. And his jail cell.
It looks like a freaking hotel
room. They brought in the fanciest furniture. He had I don't remember the name they used for it. It was like a big fancy radio, but they called it something like real swanky, but I don't remember what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
He had a desk and like pen and paper, and he could write, and the guards like all felt bad for him because he was just in there.
He has an oriental rug in there.
Yeah, like he had fine art on the walls. Okay. So
okay,
you hear?
Right.
Like this guy, the guards were like, I'm on your side, dude. Don't come up out of here and try and hunt me down. So after being in there for a couple of days, the guards reported him screaming, and he was screaming in terror and just yelling at someone. And the guards would run over there. There was no one there. He'd be begging to get out of his cell. And he didn't get that luxury, even though they gave him every other fucking luxury they had. And then there'd be nights they'd hear him having a conversation, talking to someone in his cell. And it would always end with him screaming. And he's screaming the name Jimmy. And he's just asking him to leave him alone. And he's covering his head, and he's just having panic attacks.
Was this when he was awake or when he was asleep?
Awake.
Mm.
He was very sleep deprived because when the lights went out, he just started like going nuts. Just scream. He would scream the entire night.
Mm-hmm.
And every once in a while he'd be talking, but whenever he was talking, he was still like begging this person to leave him alone. And he kept saying, Jimmy. So one of the people that were killed in the massacre was Jimmy Clark. And Jimmy was not a heavy hitter as mobsters go. He was like kind of really just like a henchman kind of thing, but it's believed that this ghost was Jimmy Clark. So this went on the entire time he was there. He was there for 8 months. And when he was released, he went home to his family, who also reported that Jimmy never left him. He would wake up screaming, terrified, getting angry. He was starting to lose his mind. Like his mind was slipping.
Wow.
And at this point, he was probably like 40, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And he never left him. And he always screamed out, and Jimmy just berated him with like shit, I guess. Like he just would not stop. And then I guess like 4 years later, again, they're not going to get Al Capone on mobster shit and murders because they know they'll come after their family
or some dumb
so they
shit.
got him for tax evasion. So he goes to Alcatraz, and he was there, I think, for 4.5 years. And guess who went with him? Jimmy. So the entire time he's there, and really by the end of those 4 years, like his mind is almost gone. But there's another thing that plays into it. Before,
Was it like paranoia? Or
well,
what do you think it was?
he wasn't there when the guys were murdered.
Right.
So it's
He
funny,
never was, so they couldn't pin it on him.
right? But it's funny that Jimmy is the one that popped in
Right.
either to his head or that really was like,
Yeah.
this was his revenge. Like, fuck you. Like, I know you ordered this, you know?
Yeah.
So Jimmy went with him to Alcatraz, was there the whole time. His mind is slipping. Now, between Eastern State and Alcatraz, Al Capone gets syphilis. Now he's super embarrassed by this, so he will not go to the doctor. So what happens with syphilis, there's like 3 stages. So you get the marks on your genitals, then you get a rash, like a skin rash, and then you get the disappearing shit, or the disappearing syphilis.
Yeah,
so
like neurosyphilis.
So you think it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And he refused to seek help for it. So what happens when it disappears, though, is it goes into your internal organs, and eventually it makes its way to your brain. Mm-hmm. So by the end of Alcatraz, not only was he screaming for Jimmy, but he had almost lost it completely. So he gets out of Alcatraz in like 1939.
Wow.
He was there for a while.
Yeah.
And he goes home to live with his family. Jimmy's there. Back. He's with him the whole time. This thing has plagued him since the St. Valentine's Day massacre. And he finally ended up dying in just a couple years after. He was 48 when he died of syphilis.
I was about to say, did he die from syphilis?
He died from neurosyphilis because it had gotten to his brain.
Yeah.
And which is ironic from what we were talking about earlier.
Thank God it's not syphilis.
This is the story we're talking about. So it's a very short story, but Al Capone.
I had no idea he died of syphilis.
Yeah. No, I didn't either. No, I didn't either. I was watching a show and I saw his jail cell again, which I've seen a million times. And
I have to take you to Philly.
I want to go.
I need to take you to Philly.
I want to go.
Eastern State is like, but it's fucking crazy.
Here's the thing, guys or girls,
guys and gals.
If you get syphilis, I think it's
an STD.
Yeah, I know, but I looked up like what it was. Okay, let me tell you. So you guys, we're gonna give you some knowledge right now, okay? So syphilis, the first stage involves a painless sore on the genitals or rectum or mouth.
Eck. So it could mimic herpes.
After the initial sore heals, the second stage is characterized by a rash. And then there are no symptoms until the final stage. So if you get a sore on your mouth or your genitals, and then you get a skin rash, you need to get checked out because
you could think you have like herpes or HPV.
Or you think it just went away.
Oh, yeah.
Like your body healed it. And that's what most people think. And that's where you're wrong, because that's when it's the most dangerous. When it disappears, you are fucked.
That's why it's important to get tested.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
this turned into a PSA.
It really did.
We went to objectum sexuals to syphilis.
Yeah. And neurosyphilis. So it was very short, but
I like that.
Very fascinating to me.
And I'm going to take you
I want to go so bad.
Philly, because Eastern State Penitentiary is one of the best places I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah, I do want to go, but I want to go when it's like nighttime. We have to figure out a way.
No, I've had my experiences there during the day.
Yeah.
Every time I've gone there, I'm like, fuck yeah, this place is great. But Al Capone's cell is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Hooked him up, but
it's so cool.
He was like the most infamous mobster ever. You know what I forgot? So there's rumor that after the St. Valentine's Day massacre, that Al Capone got arrested for an unlicensed gun for 8 months to hide out in the jail and be protected.
Yes.
So but unfortunately, none of it is fact because it's all.
And at the jail, they, when they tell you about Al Capone, they say he was a prisoner. Like, they will never say anything about that, but that is a story.
Yeah, it's a theory.
It's a theory that you hear in Alcatraz. It's a theory.
And it makes you think about the tax evasion shit, but that was 4.5 years. So that was a little excessive.
But, the government was dirty then too. All of those mobsters, they only got these little itty bitty sentences because they were all wrapped in with the mob.
Mm-hmm.
So, food for thought.
Anyway, that was the revenge of Jimmy Clark.
I love that. Cheers.
Cheers.
That was great.
Thank you.
I love that. We never talk about like mobsters.
No, it was actually really fun reading into it.
I like that.
Yeah. I've seen, what I was watching?
And you talked about Alcatraz.
Yeah.
You touched on Alcatraz and Eastern State, which is like my favorite fucking place.
Because Al Capone is in both.
Mm-hmm.
However, what made me think of it is I was watching Mysteries at the Museum.
I love that fucking
Wildman.
shit. I love Don Wildman.
I know. And anyway, I was watching his show and they showed Al Capone's cell, which I've already seen that episode like a million times. I'm like, fuck, why did I pick this one?
But it's hard not to watch it,
But
because it's so good.
Yeah. And I was like, I need to look more into this. And I hadn't realized that a year later, I think,
Mm-hmm.
that he ended up in Alcatraz.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, he barely had gotten out, and it's like, okay, dude.
Yeah. Like they were trying to like
But they
punish
didn't
him,
try
but-
that hard.
No, oh no.
Because if they had, he would have been locked up for life.
Yeah, especially for the time.
However, had it been like present day, he would have never gotten out of jail.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No.
With like DNA and paper trails being electronic and all that shit, he never would have gotten out
Well,
of prison.
that's the same for like serial killers.
Yeah.
They would leave like half-eaten food on your table,
Mhm.
or they'd leave their DNA all over the fucking place
Because
But
there was no way to trace it.
they did. Yeah.
Like if it was like 1901 and we're like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker, we'd be like, okay, put your hair in a fucking ponytail and let's giddy on up, because we
Yeah.
could do it and we would never be caught.
Like look at the Golden State Killer.
Yeah.
I mean, they got his DNA and they were smart enough, at least back then, to save DNA evidence, even though they couldn't do anything with it. And that's how they got him. They like went in his trash.
We
like,
could
got tissue or
we
something.
could wear like a surgical mask and a shower cap and some gloves, and Mandy and I would have never been caught if it was like the early 1900s.
You wouldn't even have to wear that.
We would have been like, especially if we were like out west.
We could go
somewhere,
there.
We would have been like,
We could brush our hair with their hairbrushes. We could eat their food and leave it on the table.
yeah,
It
we'd
doesn't
be,
matter. Look at Velisca. There was like fucking leftover food that
we
he
would
ate.
be dead
Or she.
by the
Huh.
time they figured it out. They'd be like,
Yeah.
they died 10 years ago.
Yeah. But
I would never do that. I'm just
Another-
saying, like,
I would never break into someone's house and kill them and eat their
I would
food.
never kill anybody. But
Well, that's not officially true.
no, if you fuck with my kid,
Mhm.
I would
That's
not.
exactly.
I
what
would
said.
not hesitate.
Yeah.
But, or if you stalk me, I will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
But,
Or at least put those big bear traps in your yard. That would be fucking awesome. Someone's stalking you and then bam. That'd be so cool.
only if it snaps your neck.
But then you can't suffer as long.
I don't give a fuck. I would
Wouldn't you want them to
love
suffer if they were just terrorizing you?
only if I could watch like their karate just be like.
This isn't the Terrifier, Katie. Oh my god. Anyway, that was fun. And next time you see me talking,
It's not going to be about objectum sexual.
fuck no, it won't. I have another
She'd be
haunted story for you guys.
Screaming at me about it.
Bye.
She loves me.
I
Bye.
Cheers, guys. Oh, look. Oh, it
Your
doesn't-
hair is like. Oh,
wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Oh, there it is.
There
Whoop,
she
there it
is.
is. My hair won't do it.
All
My
right.
hair's like,
Is
bitch,
there
you
gonna be-
thought.
Happy 4th of July, guys. I'm not sure that we'll
Oh
see
yeah,
you
we
before
won't
then.
see you before then.
Cheers! And cheers to you, Katie. Bye.
Oh my God, end.
Well, dears, that's all for tonight. I know it's so sad, but I hope you all enjoyed yourselves and come back to see us next time. Sleep tight, my lovelies, and don't let the wretched old hag bite.
Is no other way. I couldn't speak a word for days, and I start to remember what I hated about you. We are the opposite. It makes me feel more confident that I can learn to resist this. You won't even miss it. You're sick and you're twisted. You're sick and you're twisted.